I feel like I got some shit to rant about first. So I'm gonna just do that while I take these out and see what happens and just see what comes of it, because it's irritating shit. And navigating irritating shit is just, you still need to acknowledge that it's irritating, but you just can't get stuck in it. But also, don't rush yourself. I need some oil on my hands. Don't rush yourself to feel through it. You know what I'm saying? Some shit come up that's irritating as fuck, and it's just like, damn, this shit is irritating and it's fucked up, and I'm annoyed in this moment. But just give yourself a chance to feel some shit through. Give yourself a chance to feel some shit through, so you're not reacting to other people based on how you feel about whatever you got going on. You need to just learn how to be with yourself for a second. Just for a second. My Twitter was hacked, and I'm just like, all right, fuck. I really appreciated that community. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy talking to human design projectors on Twitter. Like, I enjoy doing that. And other people that I've connected, oh shit, that I've connected with. So, you know, you can feel salty because it's like something that's been built up over time. So, all right, son of a bitch, like, you really out here hacking Twitter accounts just to sell them back to people? Okay, all right. Do you want to pay to get your account back? No, I'll just create a new one. No, thank you. Because you're not about to sit up here and rage bait me into getting my account back I've had since 2009. This shit crazy, bruh. Ooh, let me get some moisture.
I'm trying to be cool, but goddamn.
I did want this to be human design, well, my Projector Diary series as entry 9, because what I've observed on other social media sites that aren't as buzzy about human design yet, like openly having conversations about experiences and all those good things, that's not really present in on my feeds on other social media websites. Anyway, my conclusion was that there are a lot of projectors or new projectors that are finding out they're projectors and wondering what waiting for the invitation means, what waiting for recognition means. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You know? Because when you first come across human design and they talk about some wait, chances are 9 times out of 10, you ain't trying to wait on shit. And that's okay, because you gotta learn. You gonna have to learn how to do it. And waiting for the invitation isn't you literally waiting. And I know if you've watched countless videos on explaining waiting for the invitation but not really explaining it, you know, I can just give you it from my experience. To me, for me, waiting for the invitation just came when I was just being. I had responsibilities, but I was just in a mindset like, I'm not finna let this shit get me down, bro. And I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and I'm gonna create what I wanna create and see where that goes. Like, let's see how that lands. And that's what I did. But I do have some notes for some clarity to give you. Just one moment, because I'm gonna take this last one out and then reach for my phone. I don't have to rush. I don't have to move fast. I don't have to move fast. Like, this can be cut out, this can be kept. Whatever you want to do with it, just as long as it's on record. Yeah, that's true. So stop rushing. All right, let me get my thing.
Who am I? What does it all mean? Why am I here? Blah.
So I did get my notes app to keep me on track. So I wouldn't be all over the place. But the more you try to understand waiting for the invitation and recognition, the more you won't understand it. Because what happens is that you're getting all this information and you're looking to understand it. Like, you're looking to understand it from a logical perspective. You're looking to understand it so it makes sense in the application of how your current life moves. So you're applying it to something that the strategy for projectors has never been introduced to you before. Because you were always told that you needed to make something happen. You were always told, like, you need to have some sort of plan of action, some sort of strategy, whoop whoop. And waiting for the invitation doesn't involve that. Your strategy for waiting for the invitation first should be to, how can I slow down my life? How can I take a pause real quick to see what is happening and to see what is going on so I can see how I feel? So I can see and feel and hear what my body is trying to tell me. We're going to have to slow down with it, because at the root of it, when you're learning about your strategy in human design, you have to learn how your body feels and how a sensation feels, because an invitation isn't always spoken. It's not always going to be, hey, do you want to come with me here? Or, hey, I noticed you were really dope at this. Can you do this for me? It's not going to be as blatant all the time. Sometimes you'll need to know how it feels when you're not being invited to do something, whether that be giving guidance or, yeah, basically like giving guidance where you're just giving out energy because you can see the solution, but you got to shut up. It ain't got nothing to do with you, but you need to shut the fuck up. They're not worried about you for real. They think that they are, but they're not really ready to hear the fullness of what you're saying. You need to know how all of that translates to you essentially reading other people. So what was that next point? Overthinking by practicing radical design, because you think you following everything to a T. Like everything has to be taken literally, and you need to stick by these rules. And if I just do this, then I have the answers for this, but why is this not clicking? Because you're forcing it. You're forcing it. When you find yourself you feel like you doing too much, and you feel like this is really weighing me down, like I'm getting really annoyed in a situation, like you're not being seen or you're not being heard, that's when you need to pull back, because you're not being recognized or invited in that situation. If you feeling like that, then you need to back up. You need to, that's when you start to withdraw your energy. That's when you're just like, I'm doing too much. You can always feel when you're doing too much because it feels hard. Like it feels like a resistance. You can recognize it as a type of resistance because you're doing too much, and you weren't designed to do all that. You're designed to see yourself. You're designed to see and value yourself. So why are we not doing that? Because you're seeking that outside validation. You're seeking that outside validation when it just starts with you. That's what waiting for the invitation is called. It's like a sacred pause, if you will, because you're going to have to slow everything down for a moment. What are you actually getting yourself into learning your human design? How do you want your life to change? What do you want to do with this information that you have about yourself? How can you apply it to go towards what you want to go towards? And that starts with you learning how to wait. And like waiting, you also have to recognize your perspective on waiting. Do you see waiting as a means to get to an end? Or do you see waiting as, let me just pause for a second. Nothing's like permanent, but death. So, it's cool because the invitations will expire. Not expire in the sense of not coming to you, but expire in the sense of time's up. It's time for a change. And that's okay. But that's where most people stop because it's unfamiliar territory. Is this one over here? Okay, I think I can turn to this side now. I just don't want to stop rolling because I don't know when this camera's gonna die. I don't know when that camera gonna die. So here we are. All right, let's get to the next point. Whew. Oh, okay. I don't know what point number this is, but when you're learning about waiting on the invitation and recognition, also understand that you have to come into your body. If you don't know what that means to you, I don't know if I'm the one to tell you, you know? Because that's your body. Where you holding tension? How can you loosen up? Where can you loosen up in your body? Begin to take notice as to how you feel in the present moment. Begin to take notice how you feel right now in this instant as you're watching this. If you're watching this YouTube video intently, how does my body feel? How does my body feel? How does my mental feel? A good time for me would be having those thoughts while doing the dishes. Am I locking my knees? Are my shoulders tense? How does my body feel right now? And give your body time to respond to you. It sounds silly, but if it's your voice coming out of your mouth, you can talk to your body. You can talk to your body. It's yours. So why aren't you communicating with them? That's important for you to understand when you're coming into your body, because once you're in your body, you can start to recognize yourself and recognize how you actually show up. How you actually show up. Let's see. What was the next one? Anyways, a self-reflective moment. I wrote down, I really pulled up the floorboards of my life to see what was underneath using human design. And with that statement is really what I did, because I had to start all the way over. I got out here by way slick of an invitation. Not really an invitation, but how the events of my life played out during that time was really dope to see. And looking back on it now, it's like, oh, I was, more so in my design effortlessly. It's those moments of life where you felt your freest, where you were your happiest. Those are moments that you were in your design. You might have not, nobody's ever 100% in it, but you felt relief. When was the last time you felt some relief in your life and that you could take a break and that you was just chilling and vibing, you know? Think about those times, those simpler times. You were probably more so in your design than you ever thought. But what happened is life. It's just life, because human design goes against a good portion of what we were taught to be. And a lot of people are not prepared to handle that. And a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people just simply don't want to, because it does take work and everything does change and shit gets irritating. Shit gets real irritating because you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be frustrated, but it's important that you acknowledge that frustration and not try to cloud it with positivity. You don't always have to be super go lucky. That's not what human design is asking of you. Human design is asking you to just honor yourself. Just honor yourself as is, step by step, because you're not finna, this is not a race. This is not a race. It's a lot of trial and error, and you have to see how you naturally show up. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. What else we got? Your frustration is impatience, and that is okay. That's okay, because then the question arises, are you currently actively waiting, or are you holding tension and urgency disguised as patience? Like, are you trying to play yourself out of it like you not tripping? No, nigga, you just irritated. You frustrated. You frustrated because of impatience, and you feel like things should be here by now. But your by now isn't really your time. Only thing you're in charge of is the day to day. The day to day, the mundane, yourself. How you react to things, how you show up to things, how do you talk to yourself, how do you treat your body. Those are the baby steps. You just have to allow yourself to change. You need to allow yourself to change, because if you don't, you're not going to expand and go nowhere. Is things are going to repeat, and the problem with that is you think that things are going to repeat when we're on the brink of things changing. The old system that you were brought up on and taught is not going to be a thing. So you have to get used to doing things differently. Get used to doing things differently. Get showing up differently. Asking different questions. Cause you gotta finesse yourself. I got everything. I feel like I don't. I probably don't, cause I'd be chaotic doing this. I feel like a normal person would have just put it into sections, but I'm not doing that. Clearly, I didn't do that. I think that was it for real. Because me seeing so many people confused by waiting on the invitation and recognition, I understand. I understand. I can only give you my perspective. That's really it, but I can only give you my perspective because this is really is a big ass experiment with your life, like specifically. So you don't want to end up getting analysis paralysis with downloading all this information and you're not really retaining it because you're not living it. You're not like actively practicing it. And if you don't know how to practice it, like I said before, you just gotta slow down. You just really need to learn how to slow down. Projectors, non-sacrals have gotten used to always expending energy, always giving something away. And now for you to learn how to be in that design, you got to keep some shit for yourself. Cause you undoing years, bruh. You're undoing years. Because I also find it interesting that the majority of people that talk about human design online within the Black community are in their 20s. It's rare that you'll have someone in their 30s who's actively doing the experiment out loud. There's a few of us actually. But it's more so the younger generation because they also know that something has to change. This ain't right. Like